on WCLE. Welcome in here on Mix 104.1 on the radio, anywhere around the world on the Mix 104.1 app. And right now, a special interview on Mix TV. MixTV.tv is where you can find most of our interviews and things that we've got going on here at WCLE. Then also, you can check us out on Facebook as well. And yesterday, we were with our friends at Hardee's. We did our tip-off show yesterday there during the morning show, and we were inviting coaches to come out and talk to us about their teams, kind of give us I guess a preseason for the high school teams of what was going to be expected of them, and then some of our college teams kind of get a preview of what they've already been doing. And during that time yesterday, unfortunately, Evelyn Thompson, the women's basketball coach there at Cleveland State, wasn't able to attend, so we invited her in for her very special interview by herself today. So, Coach Thompson, how's it going today?
It's going pretty well, and you know how I like to be the spotlight.
Be the spotlight.
So that's why I decided to come in today and, get away from the rest of the people yesterday.
Yeah, he said, hey, I'm not coming with all those clowns. I'm coming in by myself. But anyway, Coach, tell us a bit about yourself. I know, first of all, let's start off. How long have you been there at Cleveland State?
I've been fortunate enough to be there. This is my fifth year.
Fifth year.
Yeah, it seems like the time is passing by so quickly. And they say the older you get, the faster the time goes. And it really seems to be the case. But I've had the good fortune of being there for 5 years. So.
What do you like most about coaching there at Cleveland State?
I think the thing that I love most about Cleveland State and being there and having the opportunity to lead the women's program is that we have such great support. I mean, the college, from our president down to, our community, there's really a huge amount of support for our women's team, all of our teams, but specifically talking about our women's team. And we just feel like there's nothing that we need that we can't have. And so that's the thing that I really enjoy about being there. And then, of course, the young women that I get an opportunity to be involved with and to coach. It's just been a great 5 years. And I'm going to tell you, after this year, when this group of young women leaves me every year, but when this group of young women leave me, then I'm going to cry a few tears. I was telling my assistant coach that today because we get that extra year with them because of COVID.
Because of COVID, right?
So we get that extra year, so there's that extra attachment there, and so I think I'm gonna shed a few more tears this year.
And you were talking with me a little bit off air before we came on with the interview, saying that these young ladies already started off the season fairly well. We know it's very early on, but looking pretty good out of the gate.
We are. We're 3-0 right now. We've played Snead a couple of times. Snead State out of Alabama. We've played them a couple of times, and we've also had an opportunity to play Gadsden, who's also out of Alabama. We've had a chance to play them. So right now we're 3-0. We were supposed to play Southern Crescent on Saturday, but unfortunately we had to cancel that game because they had some injuries. And so right now we're 3-0. As a coach, I'm not satisfied with 3-0,
right,
because I'm already looking down, past the next few games and saying that we should continue this because we have a great group of talented young women, and I think we can do something special this year, as I was telling you before. And so I have high hopes and I have high expectations for this group of young women because I think we can put together a team that can win a conference championship.
Well, let's talk about some of those players on your team right there. Who is some of the people, young ladies, that come to mind when you speak about your team there?
Well, when I talk about the team, and I say to people when they ask me about my team, I love this team because they are such a special group of young women, and it's not just one individual. It's all of them together, and so it's the collective that really makes this such a special group of young women. And but if I had to, when I'm talking about them individually, we have Asia Harrell, who is in with us for her. Well, she's a sophomore, but she's been there. This is her third year being here because of COVID. She has done such an exceptional job for us from a leadership standpoint and really setting the tone. She's averaging 18.5 points and 7 rebounds a game for us already. She's just a tremendous athlete, but an even better person. And that's the thing I like to talk to people about this team, not necessarily their stats, but the kind of people that they are. And then we have Emma Herrick, who's with us as well. She's from Maryville. And she came in last year and, made a really good impact. But this year, she's an even more of an impact. She's actually leading us in scoring right now with 21 points, and she's averaging a double-double, 21 points and 10.5 points. We have Michaela Benefield, who has also been here. She is trying to come back from an injury right now. So hopefully we'll have her in the next couple of games. We'll have her, and she's certainly a person who's going to vie for Player of the Year for our conference. She and Asia and Emma as well. Those will be 3 people who I expect to be on first team and who will also have an opportunity to vie for that Player of the Year title. So, and then we have Deja Lacey, who's just a lefty, great player, left-handed player, came in from Walters, who's going to do some exceptional things for us. She comes from a great pedigree. Venus Lacey, who I had an opportunity to play against in college. Venus Lacey, who played at La Tech, is an Olympian and all of that, one of the best post players I've ever seen. Venus is her aunt. And so Venus has had an opportunity to come out and watch us play and encourage her and encourage our team too. So we appreciate that. It's kind of a local girl, young woman. Then we have Kirsten Hudson, who also is another sophomore, 5'9" guard who's coming to us. She was injured last year. She has an opportunity to come out and step on the court for us this year. Just another exceptional young woman, great shooter. So we expect that kind of thing from her. Also likes to put the ball on the floor. And then the person that I'm really excited about this year, and I've been talking to her along the way, is Nikki Jones. I think Nikki gives us a tremendous amount of speed on the wing position. She'll play the point guard for us. She can shoot the 3. She can take the ball to the basket. There are not many players who are going to be able to stop her because of her quickness. So I'm really excited about what Nikki is going to do for us as well. And then we have Kaisha Dalton. Kaisha is our defensive specialist, she and Nikki. But Kai really prides herself on her defense, and she's going to come in there and give us those steals, give us the that extra lockdown on defense and making sure that their primary player doesn't get an opportunity to really go off on us. So, but Kai is from Knoxville, Tennessee. And then the 2 players that I really love to talk about as well is we have Victoria Harding. She's sort of kind of a local player. She came in as a walk-on for us, had an opportunity the other night to get her first college scores, so points in a game. So we were all excited for us, and to see the team really cheer and celebrate her in that moment was, it's always great, but it was a great thing for us. And then we have another walk-on, Cassandra Cassie Vaughn. Cassie plays volleyball for us as well, and for Cleveland State. And she came off the other night and also got an opportunity because her team had set her up and put her in position to get in the game. She came in and scored her first college basket too. So,
awesome. Yeah.
So just to give you an idea of the kind of leadership and the kind of camaraderie that we have. And when we talk about our mantra being, I am my sister's keeper, to see them really manifest that mantra and really go out there and have each other's back and keep each other, I think is just a phenomenal thing, because it's just not about basketball, but it's about something much more. So
when you talk to people that's played basketball at any level, most of the time that's what they say. I love the accomplishments I had on the court, but the relationships that I created with the teammates, the coaches, those are things that will live on with me forever. Can't play basketball forever, but I can keep those relationships forever.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I talk to my team all the time about the fact that I stay in touch with all of my college teammates, and just to know that sisterhood and what that really means, and you can be only as successful as the group of women that you're with, and
Sure.
so we really try to emphasize that, and I see it coming together, and just to see them grow from the young girls that they were into the women that they are now. I mean, that's the thing that really, keeps me coaching this game.
Evelyn Thompson joins us once again as we kind of do an additional spotlight on what's going on with basketball around the area. She is the Lady Cougars head coach, been there for a few years. This time of the day, Coach, we've got a lot of young people in cars getting picked up from elementary, middle school, and even high schoolers are in their cars, maybe with parents or driving themselves listening in. A lot of those young people probably participate in basketball at some level. Mm-hmm. What would you say for someone that's not quite to a collegiate level yet, what would be a couple of words of advice to them and maybe a parent that's got this young person that they feel they've got maybe the little bit of the talent, the desire to continue on? What would you say to them?
Well, I tell people all the time, there's always a place for every and anyone who wants to play the game. And, you know, a lot of people always look at D1, and I've been on the Division I level. I've played there and I've coached there. But I think what I would say to them is that if you have the love for the game, then continue to love the game, play the game, whether it's at D1, D2, D3. There are all kinds of levels to play. There's NAIA, there's JUCO. So there's an opportunity. If you really love the game and you're committed to the game, then stay committed to the game and put in the work. If you want the opportunity to play at the next level, then put in that next level work. You got to get in there when nobody's watching. You got to get in there when the coach is not telling you to get into the gym. You've got to get in the weight room. You got to keep your grades up, which is obviously a very, very important thing, because I think a lot of young people think because I'm good, and if I am that good, then my grades don't matter. All of it matters, and you're a student first, not an athlete. It's student athlete, not athlete student. And so I emphasize that all the time. And eventually that ball is going to stop bouncing. So we really want to talk about making sure that those behaviors that you learn, that discipline that you learn in basketball can be applied to the rest of your life. And employers and people always look for athletes because they know the commitment that you have for the game and the discipline that you have to have. And so that gives you a one-up. So if you love the game, continue playing the game at whatever capacity.
You know, I'm very impressed with the conversation that we're having here, because you can tell it's just not about X's and O's or whatever you want to call it on a court. It's about life. It's about what's going to be on beyond this. And, you know, some coaches get that, and unfortunately some coaches don't. And I think the coaches are the most successful, the ones that build those relationships on the court and off the court. And I'm sure you've seen it in your coaching career, and probably as you were a player, you have that type of leadership. You will give your all for them. You will go on that floor and leave it all out there, per se, if you have that type of relationship with your coach and your teammates.
Absolutely. Because I mean, all of us who play this game, whether it's the game of basketball or football or baseball, there's a finite number of games that you get. And so you can't, you don't get to save it up and say, okay, well, I only gave 50% yesterday, so I have, some extra. It doesn't work that way. Right. So either you give 100% every time you step out on the court, or you're leaving the gift, like I always say, you're leaving the gift that God has given you. You're leaving that on the court, or you're leaving it somewhere that you haven't given it. And so when you have that responsibility, when you have that talent, then it is a responsibility to get out there and to show it, and to, put your talents and your gifts on display. So that's what we preach. We preach, every moment, every opportunity that you have, then give 100%. You can rest after the game is over.
There you
go. And then prepare yourself for the next one.
Well, tell us about an upcoming schedule. What are some of the games down the pike there that we can come and see these fantastic ladies play basketball? Oh,
fortunately for us, we've been at home for the last 3 games, and so Saturday we're playing Vol State at 2:00. Our guys play at 4. And I want to give a shout out to Coach Howard, Raphael Howard, yes, who is in his first year as the head men's coach here at Cleveland State. So, and I want to say, not only come out to support our women's team, but also come out to support him as well, because this is his first year as head coach. And so I'm proud of him for that. But so Vol State will be on Saturday at 2 and 4. Okay. And then we come back with Roan State on Wednesday. And that game is at 5:30 and 7. Those games at 5:30 and 7:30. And then we'll go back to on Saturday, the 20th, we'll be at Southwest Tennessee. So those are going to be some tough games that we have to prepare for. So we're excited about
2 out of 3 of them are at home, so that's good stuff.
Right, and it's also our conference. We start our conference play. So now we're into the meat of it. The meat of the schedule. Where it really matters. So.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for coming in and letting us know about your fantastic team there. It sounds like community leaders at some point, wherever they decide to reside once basketball is over. And that's what we're wanting. We want great athletes, but we want great leaders as they come out of those levels as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. We do a lot of community service work as well. We do the Ronald McDonald House. We volunteer for Ironman this year. We do a downtown cleanup. So there are a number of things that we're involved with. So you won't only see us on the campus and on the court, but you'll also see us out in the community, making sure that we're giving that support to the community, so then they can return that support to us. So it's reciprocity.
Coach Evelyn Thompson here with us. Thanks so much for coming in and getting us caught up on what's going on at Cleveland State. And go Lady Cougars, right?
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. We'll take just a quick break. We'll be back here with more in just a minute. Stay here with us on Mix 104.1 WCLE.
It's